Welcome back to Steve Sports. In this video, we're going to be kicking off our West Virginia high school football coverage, and I figured no better place to start than ranking my top 15 players in each class of West Virginia. Starting this video is going to be Class 4A, and keep in mind, these aren't recruiting rankings. These are just my personal opinion on who impacts Friday nights the most. I'm taking into account productivity, versatility, what they've already accomplished, and what I can see them accomplishing this season. So with that in mind, let's hop right in. First up, I'm going to highlight 3 players I think could be on this list next season. First is Kason Warden from Musselman. Warden missed most of his freshman season due to injury and then transferred back to Musselman midway through last year, so there's not a ton of tape on him. He's one of those athletes, though, that you can plug in almost anywhere on your team. Running back, linebacker, safety, receiver, he has the talent to make plays on both sides of the ball no matter where he's lined up. If he stays healthy, I think he has one of the higher ceilings in the entire state. Next up is Kellen Rife from Huntington. If you haven't heard this name yet, you probably will this fall. Rife reportedly put up over 1,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, while adding 100 tackles and 12.5 sacks on the JV level at Huntington. He's already got elite track speed and is a true two-way athlete. I honestly believe he has the potential to become one of the best players in West Virginia over the next few years. And last but definitely not least, is Huntington quarterback Mark Midkiff. Midkiff saw varsity action as a freshman and showed flashes of being a really talented quarterback. He did make a few mistakes, but the arm talent and accuracy were obvious. Since then, he's won multiple camp MVP awards, and now he steps into the lead starting role for one of the state's premier football programs. Now let's get into the rankings. At number 15, KK Lewis, University. Starting this list is University's KK Lewis. Lewis is one of the better overall athletes in West Virginia. He only finished with 600 yards last year and 7 touchdowns, but he made a big impact on defense as well with 50 tackles and 3 interceptions. He's got incredible size, speed, and the kind of athleticism that any D1 roster would like to have. This could be a huge breakout year for the University wide receiver. Number 14, Dante Newsome, Huntington. Next up is Huntington's Dante Newsome. Newsome is another outstanding two-way player who can line up almost anywhere. Receiver, running back, and DB is where he'll usually find a way to make plays. With 1,000 all-purpose yards and 10 touchdowns last season, he'll be one of the biggest weapons for Huntington's young quarterback this season. Number 13, James Payne, George Washington. Marshall commit James Payne checks in at number 13. Payne earned first-team All-State honors for offensive line play, but he's also a really good defensive lineman. He had 19 tackles and 3 for a loss, also doubled as a state champion wrestler last season. You can tell in his leverage and technique in the trenches, and I think he's primed for an outstanding senior season. Number 12, Carson Christian, Cabell Midland. One of the biggest transfers in the state, Carson Christian returns home to Cabell Midland after playing in Ohio. Bringing over 1,000 yards from scrimmage and 18 touchdowns, at 6'3", he's got the size and athleticism to play almost anywhere. And I think he's one of the biggest reasons people shouldn't overlook the Knights this year. Number 11, Gage Burdett, Woodrow Wilson. Burdett exploded onto the scene in his first season as a starter. Over 1,600 all-purpose yards, 13 touchdowns, and legitimate breakaway speed. He combines patience, vision, and balance with home run ability, and I think his junior season is going to be even better. Number 10, Tavion Woods, George Washington. This guy is simply fun to watch. Woods led the entire state with 33 tackles for a loss. He totaled 133 tackles on the season and also produced over 1,500 yards and 19 touchdowns on offense. Now he comes over from Riverside to a loaded George Washington team that's built to compete for a 4A state championship. Number 9, Harrison Helbig, University. Helbig won the quarterback job heading into his junior season and turned all the heads in the state. The 6'5" signal caller threw for over 3,100 yards and 30 touchdowns, setting school records along the way. With one of the state's best offensive lines and plenty of returning weapons, don't be surprised if Helbig and University is playing deep into the playoffs. Number 8, Jaden Black, George Washington. One of my favorite players in all of West Virginia, Black rushed for over 1,600 yards and 29 touchdowns as a freshman. What impresses me most isn't even the numbers, it's the way he runs. His vision, balance, and ability to break tackles are special. He rarely goes down on first contact, and every carry has the potential to be a touchdown. Number 7, Ty Ricketts, Martinsburg. Ty Ricketts might be the definition of a football player. He can play linebacker, safety, quarterback, wide receiver. Wherever you need him to line up, he'll line up and be productive. He finished last year with 93 tackles, 18 tackles for a loss, and 3 interceptions. He also scored 8 touchdowns on offense. His versatility makes him one of the most valuable players in the entire state. Number 6, Ilias King, Huntington. King has quietly become one of the state's premier linebackers. Over 100 tackles, 11 for loss, and 5 forced fumbles. He's only getting better for the Highlanders. He's the leader of what I believe could be one of the best defenses in West Virginia next year. Number 5, Hayden George, University. George is one of the most complete two-way players in the state. He caught 92 passes for over 1,300 yards, scored 12 touchdowns, and also picked off 7 passes on defense. His ball skills are outstanding, and I think he's the heartbeat of a university team with championship aspirations. Number 4, Kyree Brooks, Jefferson. Back home at Jefferson for his senior year is Kyree Brooks. He's one of the smartest linebackers you'll watch anywhere in the state. His instincts, IQ, and ability to diagnose plays sets him apart from any defender in the state. If he gets plenty of carries on offense this season, don't be surprised if his name starts to creep into Kennedy Award conversations. Number 3, Brian Dick, Martinsburg. I'm not here saying Brian Dick is the best quarterback prospect in West Virginia, but I am saying he's one of the best football players in the entire state. He threw for 27 touchdowns, rushed for another 17, and accounted for nearly 3,000 total yards. Now he looks primed to be one of the state's best linebackers as well. Wherever he ends up in college, somebody is getting a tremendous football player. Number 2, Boston Todd, Martinsburg. This guy could have easily been number 1. Boston Todd is, in my opinion, the most dangerous player in West Virginia. As someone who's watched Martinsburg football for 20 years, I honestly think he's right there with the best receivers the Bulldogs have ever had. Every route, every contested catch, every time he touches the ball, it feels like it could end in 6 points. Number 1, Maddox Twigg, Morgantown. My number 1 player in Class 4A is Maddox Twigg. He's one of the best quarterback prospects I've ever seen come through West Virginia. At 6'2", over 200 pounds, he has great speed and one of the best arms I think I've ever seen in this state. He checks every box for the next level. He threw for over 2,200 yards, rushed for another 1,000, and was the youngest player to ever win the J.R. House Award. He also led Morgantown to a state 4A championship and has already drawn attention from multiple major D1 programs. Wherever he ends up playing quarterback or safety at the next level, I have no doubt it'll be in Power 4 football. And that's my top 15 players in Class 4A West Virginia heading into the 2026 season. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and most importantly, let me know your top 15 down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching Steve Sports, and stay blessed.